Hey there, welcome back. In today's video, we're diving into a key concept in therapy that often gets overlooked, the balance of the id, ego, and superego. You've probably heard these terms before, but understanding how they interact within the therapeutic process is crucial. Whether you're a therapist or just curious about the mind, this concept can shed light on how we work through our emotions and thoughts. Let's break it down, and I'll guide you through how this balance plays out in real therapy sessions. When we're trying to understand someone's inner world in therapy, it's all about balance. If we focus too much on one part of the mind and ignore others, we only get a fragment of the picture. Let's simplify this with an example to make it clearer. Imagine you're learning about someone by listening to the things they say without too much thought, like when they share a dream or blurt out a random thought. This can tell you a lot about their deeper instinctive drives, their I did. It's like the part of them that just wants things, desires, needs, feelings, without any filters. But if we focus only on this part, we miss understanding how they deal with those feelings and why they push certain things away. It's like knowing someone's wild, untamed side without understanding how they manage their day-to-day life. Now, let's flip the coin. What if you spent all your time analyzing how someone resists certain thoughts or defends themselves emotionally? Maybe they avoid certain topics or laugh nervously when something is bothering them. This shows us their ego, which is the part of the mind that keeps everything under control. It manages the balance between our desires and the reality we live in. But focusing only on the ego means you miss out on the raw, untapped emotions underneath. You're seeing the rules they live by, but not the deeper desires they might be trying to hide. Therapy often involves exploring this relationship, not just with the therapist, but with themselves. The way a person relates to the therapist brings out emotions like trust, fear, or even past patterns of how they've related to others. But here's the catch. If you focus too much on this relationship, the person might get caught up in past experiences without really thinking about what's going on right now. It's like being swept up by an emotion without stepping back to analyze where it's coming from. So what does a balanced approach look like? It means looking at all the layers of the person's mind. The instinctive desires, id, the part that manages those desires, ego, and the rules or values they hold, superego. For example, if someone feels guilty every time they relax, we'd explore not just the guilt, but also where it's coming from. How do they manage it? What deeper feelings are buried underneath? If we skip any of these layers, we miss the full picture of why they feel the way they do and act the way they act. In therapy, the goal is to bring unconscious thoughts and feelings into the light. The challenge here is that different parts of the mind respond differently. The id, those instinctive drives, want to come to the surface like bubbles rising in water. It's the therapist's job to help these feelings emerge and be understood. But here's the tricky part. The ego often resists. It's worked hard to keep certain thoughts and emotions buried for good reason, maybe to avoid painful memories or overwhelming feelings. And the superego, which represents the internal rules and morals we follow, might fight back too. For example, someone might think it's wrong to express anger or desire, which makes it harder to access those emotions. As a therapist, the goal is to guide the person's ego gently toward these hidden parts. It's like helping someone face a scary part of themselves slowly at their own pace. Along the way, we also point out how this connects to the larger picture of their life. Balancing all of these parts, the id, ego, and superego, ensures the therapeutic process is deep and constructive, leading to real growth, not confusion or distress. Understanding the mind is like piecing together a puzzle, and therapy helps us bring all the pieces into view. By recognizing the balance between the id, ego, and superego, we get a clearer, more complete understanding of who we are. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into therapy and the inner workings of the mind, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more content. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What's your experience with these concepts, or how have they shown up in your own life? Drop a comment below, and let's talk about it. See you in the next video.